That's literally how I sound.
I mean, right? Come
I mean, but literally, don't you hear that song and like think, when are we gonna have cake? Like, don't you just, and when you hear the song,
on.
it's a
You
wedding.
will not believe what I think of when I.
What
So, my mom, Liz, if you're listening this morning, I don't know if
love
she.
her. Hi, Liz.
My mom and my aunts and my grandmother, they were in food service. They were catering waitresses. They were all kinds of things. But this particular connection is they were working, all of them, as catering waitresses. I mean, imagine, by the way, mother and her three daughters, like working weddings, that kind of stuff, right? The idea of my mom and her sisters and mom, when this song would come on, played live by the band that was there for the wedding, for them, knowing the band's set, when celebration came on, it was time to bust the cups, the coffee cups from the table. So when this song comes on, all I think about is bust cups.
Get the
Time to
cups
bust
off the table.
Get the bus bins.
Time to-
Because everyone was on the dance floor and you could grab all the cups off the table while everybody was out there dancing to celebration. Is that not?
See that? Thanks.
I got
So
issues.
now when I hear the song, no more cake, I'll be thinking of
Bus
you
cups.
talking about Liz. I actually would like to see Liz bussing tape. Like I can't imagine.
Okay, first of all, she's excellent. She is excellent. She had those girls going and argue with her older sister, which was pretty typical, about how to do the job. You know, that kind of stuff. They were great. My grandmother was the best. But yes, celebration, bus cups. That's what it means.
Thank you. How are you? Where are you today?
Wait a minute. Brian's here this morning. Good morning. See, everybody has a connection. It's
Some
always
kind of right.
Yes. Bar
That's right.
for parties. Yes. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, folks. We are so glad to see you. I was in Orlando and just drove back this morning. So just got back to Vero Beach. I was at the Rogue Hire user event. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am
Look at you,
all the
LinkedIn
way.
user. Look at you, LinkedIn user.
I am LinkedIn. Have you seen it? Look how cute.
Oh, I haven't ordered it. I suck. I need to order.
And it comes branded from But First Coffee, Jackye and John.
I'm telling
It
you.
is the cutest thing. Like,
Jamie, well done.
you know, it's
Our producer is awesome. Is he? I don't even know.
make sure, and I think we have it somewhere. Let me see, because I don't want to mess anything up.
That's what I mean.
But,
Jamie needs to be working, so if it doesn't pop up, it's his fault. And Jamie, you're fired. By the way,
that's not nice. And where is he? No, he's fired and in trouble. No, we can't. Look, you can get your own LinkedIn user.
I don't know how to do this. Somebody has to train me on these systems. I don't know any of this.
You and Katie always like the technology victims.
It's not that I'm stupid, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Yeah. Everybody scan that barcode. Scan the barcode. And get your LinkedIn user shirt.
Because we have to wear them. We're going to wear them at conferences and make sure that we can find our other people. I am in Austin right now.
Did you get
an event?
Did you get kicked out of Waco, or what happened? Why are you in Austin?
No. There was a Survivor Watch party.
Yeah, I figured where you were last night.
Yeah. So Bryce and Wendell, they have a thing they've been doing for years. And so there was a Survivor Watch party. And wow.
I'm so sorry, everybody. Apparently, I'm not on the right mic once again
That's
because
what happened.
everybody,
I mean,
every here we go. How's that? Everything.
oh, you know,
This system. Let me just be clear, because it's not an episode without complaining about Restream.
no.
Just moves everything around every time. Picks different cameras when I first come on. I'm like, why? Why are you picking
I
that camera?
think though it wouldn't be but first copy. The funny part is we've complained about it every day for
Yeah.
like 3 years.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. You would think, and I don't do anything. Like it's the same mic,
Yeah.
same camera. It's the last one used. Doesn't it stay to the settings? I don't understand. I don't understand. But I'm so sorry. Back to the watch party. Were you? But first of all, you sent me the picture. Both of you looked cute as a button. Super cute. Super cute.
It was so it was so fun. Lauren like got the jackets and outfit. And it was like so cute.
So
And
cute.
you will love, well, this is not going to be a surprise because my sister is the most wonderful, thoughtful person ever. She got us fanny packs. So cute.
She is so cute. And
I
I
know.
want to just make sure Joe is here this morning. I'm going through, I know a bunch of people are jumping in. Joe, I just want you to know, thought of you this morning, Joe. Look at me. Look at me with my Zoom. Come on. Thought of you.
I should have cameos now. I should sell them so I can like tell somebody, hi,
Happy birthday. Yes. He's not wrong. Joe, thank you. That's a great idea. As long
listen.
as you do it with the blonde hair and you do it as Marilyn Monroe, that would be awesome. Happy birthday.
Mr. President. Happy birthday. Can I draw a mole? I need somebody to listen to my voice. This is from what?
This is, first of all, you have the little bit of like the sexy voice. Now you're doing Marilyn Monroe. You had the little lip quiver thing going. Come on, you got it down. You're born to do this.
Absolutely. I was born to be a Marilyn Monroe impersonator. Absolutely. Fully.
And
let's celebrate that.
Here's all of our lovely Sean. Good morning. I'm going to be hosting a tech masterclass. I know you're making fun of me. I know.
Not one masterclass.
Yeah, okay. Our executive producer. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Anytime Jamie is out for the day at Humoriso,
we're screwed.
I'm like, listen, if any of you have any tech challenges, restart your computer. That's all I can do. That's all I can tell you to do.
That's right.
Jamie.
All the clients are like, oh God. Literally, the one time that Jamie was out, I touched something and literally broke it. Like
wrong.
as
Everything was wrong.
Needed help.
Everything was
if
wrong.
you use something else to stream, let us know. Put it in the chat. We would love to.
We know that there are these other things. Somebody's telling me now Riverside, like that's move everything to Riverside, right? Is that what you're hearing too?
Yeah, and it's really good. But then there was another one that I tried, and StreamYard's still good.
All right. Yeah.
I do like Restream does now do the little shorts, so that's pretty good.
Yes, Jamie was just showing me that as well.
Those are cute, but I want to know, what are you going to celebrate today?
My head doesn't fit into the Restream shorts that they put together.
Wait, can we just talk about? We all know we talk about AI all the time about how fast it evolves. Literally, when I don't remember. I think it was Clap. There's one that's called Clap with the K, but it's Clap. And when I first started using it, when I would make the shorts, do you remember, John? It was only John's head. It didn't matter if I was talking.
No, correct.
Just have John.
Yep.
Literally, and I was like, is this bias in AI? And they were like, what? Like they couldn't explain it. They were like, we really don't know. There was a glitch in the system, literally, where they were like, we don't know why it's doing that. And I'm like, I think it's bias in the AI.
Although I'm telling you, you could have a lot of fun with the marketing strategy for that. Like you have Clap. You know what I mean? Like you have
the Clap.
with like a Georgia O'Keeffe painting in the background. Like
It's like a C on crutches, and then it turns into a K.
that's a shirt. We are not making a shirt for another company, Jamie. No,
No, that's
we're
not
not
how.
making a shirt for Clap. That's it. We
No,
do enough. We're not a nonprofit. We are actually apparently.
it feels like we're the opposite of a nonprofit. We just spend money randomly on things we don't need or want. John, get the limo. That was, if anybody wants to know, that is probably my favorite memory that needs celebrate. My favorite celebration was that stripper bowl when we were going to in Vegas. And Katie said, John, get the limo. And there were like 12 people.
Listen, you all don't know how abused I am in these places. They're always like, John has the credit card, he'll pay for it. John has it. I'm like Scrooge McDuck. Stop asking me to spend my money. And they pull up with this mini sort of limo bus. Yeah, and had the stripper pole straight in the center. All colored lights kind of flashing, a video screen in the back, Josh Rock being supremely inappropriate
It's
on everything.
literally,
Yes.
I just love the HR conference with the stripper pole is always top
Listen,
notch.
listen, daddy's got to eat. I understand that, but it cannot be that I'm always paying for it.
Absolutely no. You're right. But it also means you have to pick the wine. I also got in trouble for picking the wine. And John's like,
Oh,
what are
yes.
you doing? I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
listen,
Well, it's not the wine. It's that you picked 3 bottles of it. And I was like,
no, I picked one bottle for me. You're the one who wanted to share with the rest of the table.
oh, yeah,
It
that's
didn't have
it.
to be 3 bottles.
That's it.
That would have been awkward.
I'm going to tell you, and this is one of the things that I was thinking about with celebration. Literally, what we're doing right now is as much as you may need to do at times when it comes to celebration, laughter,
That's
like
right.
sitting with someone, right? Bringing up the stories that are about, this is why I appreciate you. This is how you make me laugh, like this, and just cracking up, recalling whatever the incident was or whatever. There is something celebratory about shared story. It really, really is. And so I say this because 2 reasons. One, I know there's some companies that are represented here that don't have a lot of budget to, John, I can't put in a system for employee recognition. We just don't have the budget. I'm not, I don't think we're advocating to say that's the only way to do it. No, you can do it with relational components like this. And those of you who are trying to like control the budget, mix some of this in, right? It means something to people. Like, we're going to laugh about this stuff until we're no longer here.
But
Like,
also, but also, so Rachel Couples, who we love, the original LinkedIn user, to be clear. Rachel Couples was the original.
I'm sorry, Joe. I love you so much.
That's what she said.
And then my wife is like, why? Why are you talking about stripper poles on this show? What are you doing?
I just want to hear Liz's recap.
Oh, my mother would be like, you were on a stripper pole? What are you
Right.
doing? Yeah.
But the thing that when Rachel Couples said something yesterday, and it was like unlimited PTO, and she was like, stop doing it. It's like I'll see you later. And Rachel said, I used to think that until I worked with Jackye, and I always took time off. She never looked at me sideways. And you realize that's a celebration in and of itself.
Yes.
Allowing people to use the benefits that you literally provide is actually celebrating your employees and reminding them why. It's always great. One way to celebrate it is by saying, I know this has been a really stressful time for you. I really want you to take a day off. Or like, I'm commanding that you take a day off. Having shared days off,
Yeah.
so that nobody gets to, have to work on those days, that can be a celebration. If you don't have
Um,
any money, the gift of time is something that we don't get enough of.
Absolutely. And I think that it's such a good point because we don't do a great job of encouraging usage of this accrued time or earned time, or however you're doing it. And I'm going to step back. Benefits as a whole is a great conversation. I recently had a conversation reminding about a benefit of short-term disability. And I'll tell you, it's really interesting because usually the issue is not the person who takes advantage of everything. Quite honestly, it's usually the opposite.
That's
People
right.
who ought to take
Right.
advantage of the benefit that is there for them and they feel badly for it. They will feel less than. And I think to come up alongside someone and saying, today is a day that I'm going to remind you that we have these things in place to support you. It may not be a time for full celebration. I know you're going through some stuff. I get it. But I at least want you to know we were proactively thoughtful
Right.
about this potentially coming up for anyone. And so lean into the fact that it is a small win that you can have access to some of these benefits. You don't need to feel badly about it. People don't wake up in the morning and say,
No.
most times people don't wake up in the morning and they're like, gosh, I hope I get some sort of short-term disability that I'll need to use to,
Right.
like, who is waking up and asking for that? Not usually many.
Right. Right. But, the other thing is that saying thank you. I did a little short study. I worked at a company that had 103% turnover.
Oh, restaurant? I
Like,
mean,
we hired them back and then they left again. Like, it was so bad, and that, to me, those are fun environments. I mean, it's like, those are the environments I used to love recruiting in. And one of the things that we did was started an anonymous thanks campaign. And it was a study. And in that organization, after we did that and found out who got thank yous, on average, people stayed an additional month per thank you
isn't that
received.
interesting? That is great. I love those stats.
Because
That's really
you
interesting.
thank somebody today, if you're worried or doing it, just the thought that you can keep somebody an additional week, that's better for you, the organization, of being able to share that, those types of things, because you forget and take for granted, right?
And especially with remote or distributed workforces, um, even on Slack or Teams or whatever internal comms you're using, yes, I know you can type thank you. Please do that when you ask somebody something. Thanks, thank you. But I'm going to tell you, I think there are times culturally, it's really healthy to like start playing the gift game.
Mhm.
Like find a good, be thoughtful for an extra 10 seconds of looking up a gift that you want to send that expresses the thanks. It shows a little more effort than just thanks, and on you go to the next thing. And I think to your point, it um, it is received better. I know that's been my experience, even within the team at Humoriso. Like, I appreciate the fact that someone is taking, 30 seconds to search for the perfect gift that they want to send in response to something that was sent to them. I like that. I just think it just shows care. I know that might sound silly to some of you, but
No,
you've got to look for small wins like that.
I think, well, now, and Joe, even though I wanted to put John is giving advice on budget after buying bottles of booze and trips on the strip pole, but instead, I'll use this Joe quote when it's talking about leadership needs to promote when they're taking time off for self-care to set the example.
Yeah,
And that is so
it's a
true.
great
And
point.
unfortunately, like, me and John and Katie and Robin, like, we need help. Like, we don't know how to do that. And I think a lot of people, don't know.
Me, me.
Like, this morning I was laughing at my sister, and I are both here in Austin. And I was like, do you have any meetings this morning? And Lauren's like, I'm taking the day off. And I was like, is that how that happens? Because I can't. And because I was like, literally,
Right.
because I'm taking off doesn't mean I don't have meetings all day. And I'm like, why is that? That doesn't make sense. Like I have
Right.
to reevaluate life choices. But
Yes. And time off is a way to also celebrate. I love what Wendy shared too. Like that, my company has 4 random days off each year that everyone has off, right? In
right,
addition to their unlimited PTO. Because we know still statistically, organizations that have unlimited PTO tend to have utilization less than more structured PTO offerings, meaning you get 2 weeks, 3 weeks after being at the company for so long. Usually, if it's a structured and you've earned 3 weeks, you take your 3 weeks. If it's unlimited, that person might average 2 weeks instead. So that research hasn't moved a whole lot in the last 5 to 7 years. But,
and
but
organizations.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. I just was thinking like,
okay.
I, and that includes salespeople.
Oh gosh,
They
yeah,
get to take time off too,
yeah, yeah,
because
yes.
that's something that I've seen so many. Well, everybody gets to take off, but not sales
Well,
or
and part of that
content.
is because when they're commission, which I'm a
I get
fan
it.
of. I'm not saying not to. Everybody, don't at me. Um, but you feel like I eat what I kill, and so if I'm not here, then I'm going to miss an opportunity, and therefore I can't take time off. Or like at some point, I've tried to tell salespeople, because this is a hard habit to break, and you bring up a
Yes,
good segment of the employee population. I have said to salespeople, do me a favor, schedule half a day
that's right.
or 3 hours even. Schedule 3 hours when you're not going to be here, when you're going to take time off. I know that the thought of taking a full day right now is like, I might as well ask you to like be an Olympic diver tomorrow. I know, I got you. But can you do 3 hours and then come in? You'll be able to take the morning, go to, go to breakfast with your spouse, walk your kids to school, go on a run. I don't know, whatever it is you just do it for a few hours, then come into work. Because I just think we've got to start helping to support the habit. And I'm telling this person, I'm celebrating you.
That's right.
I see you. I see the struggle that this is for you. And I want to celebrate you by saying you matter here. And
Right.
I want to help encourage and hold you accountable to your self care, to a good mindset, to a refreshed approach when you come into work. Like all that is celebratory.
It is celebratory, and I understand, like Jessica saying, when you have a number to hit, it's so hard to step away. This is
Totally.
what you do. You tell the people, we're going to give all the sales people a $10,000 credit. Like not, we're going to boost the number. We're not starting at 0 this month. So that mentally you can get there and feel like
Yep.
you hit that number because you're right. I mean, it's made up, but you would have to see that in order to feel worthy of those things, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
it has to do with company culture and policy, because it's an arbitrary number that someone made up. And if it's
Absolutely.
causing pain where people feel like they can't take days off or they can't take breaks, you're not getting the best from them. And it's not helping the organization. If people are resentful, we burn these people out, and we need to
Yes.
stop having a culture of burnout.
You got to have a culture of celebration. And I think part of it is, again, how do we use the benefits? Big B, the benefits of the company. That's not just health benefits, that is
Right,
PTO, right? It is. I love what Dion said about having self care days, even identifying them in a particular way. Listen, y'all, have a floating holiday. Like put stuff into place. Let
right,
people take off for their birthday as
right,
an option without having it, like just things where they can feel like, gosh, they care that nobody's giving me grief because I get to take off on my birthday or whatever. Like it may sound small, but there are companies that really struggle with this. So start small to build the right way. I
right.
have worked with companies where the CEO, and you have as well, actually, I know, where the CEO has a hard time when people take time off. They don't
Yes.
celebrate that,
No.
right? They look at it like, I'm killing myself here. I'm here, I'm working 80 hours a week. You can't work 40, and you're like, so you never want them to take a day off? No, not really.
Right.
Right.
And even worse, the 3 a.m. like responding to emails or Slack messages at 3 a.m. I don't remember what Super Bowl we talked about this. You remember it
Yeah.
when they had the Slack message and everybody at the party like had a heart attack. Everybody at the party's like, because it was a Super Bowl commercial that had that sound that and everybody's like,
Right.
yeah,
It's Pavlovian.
right, where you're having like a full physiological reaction.
Yep.
Like, oh
Yep.
my God, boo. It's like, no. I mean, we have to.
Look at me using Pavlovian. I just want to point that out.
Did you Google that? Was that your chat GPT? You're so smart.
So smart.
I can't find a QR code. Yeah, spell it. Spell it, John.
YOURMOM.
That was so rude, and I loved every minute of it. Me and John are both running on little sleep and caffeine this morning.
It's awful. It is.
How long is the drive?
Actually, the drive is, well, I wasn't exactly in Orlando. I was in Maitland, which is right next to Orlando. And
Lakeland. That's what I was like. I love beautiful Lakeland, Florida.
I was there with Evan White and Mike Staffy from Aaron. And we were like, this isn't even Orlando. This is Maitland. What,
You were in near Orlando.
We were near Orlando. And it was like, there's nothing
Mikey
out here.
Mouse. Not Mickey. It was Mikey Mouse.
With a cigarette. Yeah, what do you want? You want a picture? Come here.
Quack, quack, bitch. With a fucking like,
I dated Minnie before he did.
Minnie and her mom. Thunder that mountain. Or I got your magic mountain hanging. Maitland. Listen.
We are like 1,000,000% inappropriate. There's no way this show is going to continue for much longer.
It wasn't me. It was
my
the
gosh.
user. Mandy, I met Mandy. Listen, Mandy, I'm so glad that you're here. And Mandy has been a long time fan of the show.
Yes,
I
thank
met
you.
Mandy yesterday.
You did?
Room. Yeah.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
like talking and I'm like, is this the first time we actually, like, does this count as a meeting? I feel like I've known Mandy forever. And I'm
Mandy's right. I do want, Mandy is right.
Yes.
Remove that stigma. Yes. We got to remove that
stigma. They
stigma.
are there to be used. And yes. We need to remind people of total comp. Like, I hope you're telling people total compensation, because people also forget that we are doing this because we do care. All of those organizations, like, when you think of it, especially when you have to, when you have to like start looking at those things, and not everybody can do that.
I'm a small organization, right? We have about 35 employees. And like when I talk about long-term disability, short-term disability, life insurances that are paid for by Humoriso, that's a real sunk cost for those things. I'm not mad about it. That's not my point. But that's part of the total package, right? On behalf of that person. So I'm paying for these things so that you can have access to them should you need it. Like, that should be the spirit.
So you can use it when you need it, but it's also so you don't have to worry.
Correct.
Forget about that in general, where we're putting these things so you can show up as your best self.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not using the
why, Katie? What you doing up? Oh no, Katie, you all right?
We were talking about her on the show. Look, she's like.
Give us one set of eyes if you're safe. 2 sets if you've just been riffed.
Katie, if you could just step out the room for just a minute, we'll be back. But if you could just a little more warning. But
you listen. In addition, though, to benefits, like formalized benefits, whether that is an insurance related plan, and I'm talking about all your insurance, right? Dental, vision. Please don't minimize those things as well. I have had to tell people who are doing this while they're talking to me because they're getting closer. I'm like, what, with their glasses on? And I'm like, if you don't mind, when is the last time that you went and had an eye exam? And they're like, oh my gosh, it's been years. I'm like, that you have vision insurance,
right?
You get a pair a year or contacts with
A
Can
year.
you go? I'm like, oh, I'm so busy. Okay, take the time that you have, take a morning, go do your eye appointment. I don't want you to have to like get on top of the computer screen to see it. Like, it's okay.
Play the
Remind
trombone.
people even about that stuff. But I'd also say be mindful that um, there are benefits that can be a little looser. What do I mean? I'm a big advocate of food. I'm sorry, I'm a big advocate of food. Have lunch at the office once in a while. If everybody's fully distributed, do it. DoorDash gift card or
Give
something
everybody
for the
$50, like buy your lunch.
something, right? $20 or something. Even if you're like, I don't know, I can't afford $50. All right, just do 20 or $15. They can
Right,
get something towards it, right? Like,
right.
just let it be. It doesn't have to be planned. It's not the first Friday of every month. Like, if it's a once in a while, great. Something to say, I know it's not a lot, but I just really appreciate what you're doing. If this could go towards your lunch today, I totally want you to use it. Like, just thank you so much for what you're doing. Something unscheduled, heartfelt, thoughtful. And part of it too is, and I think about small business a lot when I'm saying this, sometimes small business sets up their appreciation negatively.
Mm,
I'm sorry that I don't have a big budget, but
mm,
I at least want, why are you starting with the negative? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
lean into what you can do and celebrate it and be like, hey, check your phone. You should have just gotten a link to DoorDash. I sent you $15 to go towards lunch today. But hopefully that helps. Like, please order some lunch. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. I don't know how we would have gotten through this particular deal or supporting this particular whatever if you weren't involved. So just thank you so much. That's
And
all.
I mean,
Don't qualify it negative.
no, because nobody wants to be part of a losing team. So when you say that,
Mm.
it's going to reflect how they feel about the full organization. But I
Yeah.
want to, and I know we've been kind of over indexing on insurance and talking about, but preventative care must be highly encouraged because those are things that are built in. Like just going to the dentist every 6 months, you don't have to pay anything. And insurance companies don't want to pay anything, but they
Right.
do preventative care. And those of you that are in your 40s and 50s, that's when you have so many things that
Yes,
you have
especially dental,
all the things,
especially dental. I don't
right?
want to forget dental. Like
No,
you're saying, every 6 months, go, go, go. My dentist has told me that oral cancer is on the rise because people are not getting regularly checked every 6 months. And there are things that happen inside of our mouths, especially as we get older, that could be easily taken care of if there was a regular cadence of checkups. But because people don't do it, it becomes something more. And then it's like oral cancer. I'm like, okay, look all around, make sure you check everything.
listen, because I'll tell you a
Really?
secret. Like everybody, I'm very proud of I feel like I do have a really nice smile, but
You have
I
a
wasn't
beautiful smile.
trying to get a nice smile. Like I was trying to eat ribs. And then a cap fell off. And then I was like, can I get this cap fixed? And it was like, wait, you need this, you need this, you need this, like all the various things. And they were like, your insurance is only going to do this much. These are the things that you need to do. There are things that I didn't know that I was having a
Yes.
problem because,
Yes.
like, and I asked the dentist if that happens commonly. And he was like, if tooth decay and the things that happen in your mouth were more painful, we would have more people in here because people don't come until they have to.
And then it's like you're way in, like root canal, all the things that people say I'm scared of. Well, don't wait, right? I do love this idea. By the way, Trish, good morning.
Hi, Trish. We
So many
talked
people
about Trish
here.
last week.
Dion, good morning. Mark, I'm seeing so many people. Katie, we are so glad. First of all, Katie,
Wait
I
a
did
minute.
not just
Did
admit
you
I
just
don't
go,
floss.
Katie, we're so glad.
Especially, look, she's insulting me. I floss every day, just so you know. But Trish said one thing that in her last role, they would buy a basket of fruits and veggies each week from a local market, and anyone can take from the basket that we put in the kitchen. Right, this as for an on-site or office manufacturing warehouse environment where if you're a retail store. By the way, those of you who are in retail, you have a little back room. Put stuff on that little table and let people participate in it. I remember one time years ago that I had my grandmother, coming all the way back to Nana, had my grandmother cook, and I lived relatively close enough. I was like 10 minutes probably late, but I went back. She had cooked a whole meal, like, Italian meatballs, sausage, the whole thing. I grabbed it all hot, brought it back to work, put it in the back room, and there were like three of us working, and they talked about it for months. Like, this was the greatest break I've ever had. The food was crazy. And I thanked them for, their partnership and what we were doing. Food means something to people. Don't underestimate that, and yet let it be a tool to celebration. I'm so grateful that you're here.
And if you can, meeting in person, but then if you have team meetings and you're the supervisor and having people in your home, you're feeling like that's something, for some reason that like trumps a lot. Like when people feel so good, like we are here, like bringing people
Yes.
into our home. Oh,
Mark, thank you for sharing this. We're not just being silly, like genuinely. We're so glad that she is okay. Yes. And you wouldn't think it, right? You're talking about thyroid cancer. You're like, well, what does my dental cleaning have to do with that? Look, they take x-rays. There's discovery that happens. Thank you, Mark, very much for sharing that genuinely.
yes, yes.
Right? I mean, and I'm big on, how I feel about, while I may be cheap in some areas,
I didn't say it.
I have no problem paying for a good meal.
You sure don't.
I sure don't. And if it's a good meal, swipe
And he
this
wants
card.
everybody.
Swipe
He
this
is
card.
Nana. He wants everybody to eat. He gonna bring
Yes,
everybody in there.
that is actually true. That
And
is
it's the
true.
most annoying. Jackie, just say, have a couple more bites of chicken.
I don't think you weren't with us. I don't think Robin. I don't know if Robin's here this morning, but um, we went to. Where were you with? We went to Scarpetta at the Cosmopolitan. Were you with us that night that we
Yeah,
went?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. There was like five of us.
No, I
Talia, I think, was there.
didn't go to Scarp. I don't remember.
Talia, if you're here, you remind us. Anyway, like, for those of you that don't know Scarpetta and the Cosmo, like, Scarpetta is a brand that Scott Conan started and all this stuff. So I've had opportunity to support that organization in the past, and so we were there, and I'm like, I haven't been there in a while. Let's go. They were like lovely. They're, John, come on back. We've got a table for you. They were like, that experience, right, matters as well. So how can you celebrate people? Yes, that was tied to food, but think about experiential things. Like, Robin the whole time was like, oh my gosh, because they just kept coming over. How is everything? Chef wants you to have a little bit of this. We didn't order. They were like, please, we're not giving you any menus. Please let us just send out things. Like, you're like, what? Those kinds of experiences are fun. I think people talk about it a long time. They feel appreciated that you would include them in something like this.
Right.
If you can do things like that, great. But honestly, if all you can do is get two pizzas from down the street, then get two
That's
pizzas from down
okay.
the street. That is totally fine.
Then that is okay. Or even better, like we call it stone soup. You remember the story of stone soup?
Yes. Can you tell it though? Because I don't know that everybody
Yes.
knows this.
So stone soup, there was a guy who came into, it's like an old African fable that came into town, and he told them that he would help them. It was the best soup in the world. And he had a stone with water, and he was boiling in the stone, and everybody was like, oh, can you smell it? This is the stone soup. And someone say, oh, I can bring, oh, let's put these carrots in there. And someone else is like, oh, let's put this onion in there. And then everybody, like the whole town loved it. And they were like, you're right. This is the best soup ever. But part of the reason it was the best soup is because of community and people sharing and people giving what they had.
Yes.
And so sometimes like we started having more friends over when we had less, where all of a sudden it's like,
Yes.
let's have game night. Let's have dessert night. And then somebody else, we're all doing it. But now I'm just going to bring a dozen chocolate chip cookies to share. And then we're all sharing in the bounty. So
100%.
just go ahead and have a potluck, have a chili night.
Do you remember having potlucks? Like, they were fun.
They were fun.
I know we're terrified about things with that. I know. Because you're like, well, I heard a story about, Sally bringing a crock pot of chili, and,
melted X-lax in it, so to get everybody sick the whole time.
Right.
Look, am I saying that never happens? I can't. I don't
I
know all
can't.
things, right? But
It's rare.
how rare is that? Come on. So you're not going to have a potluck because someone's going to make an X-lax chocolate cake.
Listen,
Don't eat the chocolate cake.
we had one potluck. Lauren, you remember this? When we were in New York, when we were kids, we went to the potluck and everyone got sick. And there were 5 of us. We had 3 bathrooms, but 5 people. And everybody
2 bathrooms.
sick.
Everybody
Nobody
was
had the downstairs. It was in New York.
Lauren and Jackie were cheek to cheek on that toilet. Let me tell you.
Girl, that is sad. When you got 3 toilets and that's still not enough.
This is why you're not invited to anything, Katie.
You know what? I'm gonna need y'all to take it offline. Do not participate.
Absolutely not on the potlucks. Here, this is it.
But I love you talking about. So there was a whiskey pairing. I can't. Y'all argue. I cannot take it. When mom and dad are fighting,
right. It's mom and dad, right? Yeah.
So anyway,
for those that don't know, that we love each other desperately. We're good. Yes. Go ahead.
But still give me,
agita. That's our common joy. Go ahead.
That's right. We fight over which one is Sophia, which one's Dorothy and which one's Sophia. They just rotate. But it was a whiskey pairing.
Yep.
And one of the things that he brought out was cornbread. Now, this guy, Corey McIntyre in Waco, when I first met him, he gave me a biscuit that literally made me silent. It was the best thing I ever had. And he had the cornbread, did the same thing, where it was so good. And he came out and he goes, "What did you think about the cornbread?" And I was like, "I love your cornbread." He goes, "Right? I woke up this morning, I had a piece of cornbread and I said, 'Damn, Corey.'" And I was like, "That's right." Sometimes I say that to say, sometimes you have to celebrate yourself.
Yes.
And you can own it, right? You can own it.
You can own it. But do it within reason, because some of y'all love yourselves a little too much. Just saying, a little too much. And if that celebration gets in the way, then people aren't really going to be open to appreciating what it is you're doing. If you're like, "Hey, taste these. I made these. They're amazing." No, hey, come and look at this Excel spreadsheet I did. It's awesome. Hey, if you do that kind of stuff all the time, they're not going to appreciate it.
But also, if you need celebration, sometimes you need to tell people too.
Yes.
I mean, I think one of my favorite examples.
Distributed workforces, to your point, especially remote and distributed work, because we don't see everything all the time.
Tell people. I think it's one of my favorite stories. I sent the article that I wrote to John and Katie and Robin, and I was like, "I'm only receiving praise because I've turned it in and I've written it 13 times." And everyone's like, "Oh, this is great." It's like, "Thank you." I needed someone to say that.
That's when you get the response that says, "Look at you. You wrote an article.
You did that thing, you."
And you're like, "You hated it. Darn it."
There are times when it's like, I'm only accepting praise right now. I am at my wit's end. I cannot, if it's if you're a critical moment right now, can you please write it down? Because there are times
you have to be safe.
Overwhelming.
And you chose to be safe. And I think that's the other thing to think about when you talk about celebrating success.
Right.
If you don't know who your people are,
that's right,
that will both be honest with you. But so meaning if there's something to talk through, they'll talk through it with you, but you'll also trust that they're going to be honest in their celebration. This is good. This is, a great reflection of what you know how to do, whatever it might be. Part of the way in which you can celebrate success is creating that safe environment for you. That may not be the entire organization. It may not be everybody in your department or division. You have to figure out who those safe people are, because when Jackie said, "I'm only accepting praise right now," if that's not to a safe audience, someone could hear that and go, "Okay, girl, I guess you think you're perfect," right? And that's not what your intention was.
Mm-mm.
But that helps you to know, am I right in having some of the folks that I think I'm safe with in that safe circle. Maybe
That's right. And wanted the criticism because you
Right.
always like, or otherwise I would have just sent it to,
Yeah.
somebody who wouldn't criticize it at all. Right. It's like, but you also want people.
Joe, you better be in Vegas for Unleash.
Are
I'm
you
telling
gonna
you right
like?
now.
Is anybody going to Unleash? Because we're going to be at Unleash.
We will be there, and
Work human.
we are going to be live at Unleash. We'll be a day early. We'll be doing it on Wednesday the 7th, but we will be live at Unleash. I love this, by the way. Please put in there. And I don't want to ignore something too. Trish, gosh, we have a bunch of people here.
I know.
Tons of comments, y'all. Keep them coming. Trish brought up, and I don't want to gloss over it. Do you think anxiety prevents people from preventative care? We're almost afraid to know if we're healthy or not. Anyone have any strategies to address people with doctor or dentist anxiety, or those white coat syndrome, those kinds of things that keep people from doing it? Love that question. If any of you have ideas, please put that in the chat, because it is real. And then you have people who could be utilizing some of these benefits that aren't because of that anxiety. I think it's a good point to bring up.
I think that is great. I know, like, in going to the dentist, one of the things that I had to do, like, and it was a joke in South Florida. Anybody who lives in Florida has heard of the sedation dentist. Remember the commercial? Because my husband there was a lady who asked me if I was married to the sedation dentist, because my husband, when he called, would go, "I know who you are. Call me now." The dentist, the commercial goes, "I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Call me now. You need dentist care." And it was like, "Call me," whatever his name was, the sedation dentist. And so we would call and he would say, "I'm talking to you." But if you're afraid of the dentist, fine. They do have sedation dentists, or people like I used to have to use laughing gas when I went to the dentist.
Yeah.
And for a while, until I got my gums and everything healthy. And now I'm not nervous because they don't have to do anything crazy.
Right.
But you have to.
It's a little predatory, though. The whole sedation dentist thing sounds a little like.
Not sedation sounds a little rough.
Let me put you under. When you wake up, you're like, "Why is my shirt on backwards?"
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I have a rash there that I didn't have before.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I feel like a little burn. But
I thought I wore underwear today. What the heck?
That's odd.
Don't go there.
Mikey Mouse, huh?
Daisy Duck's where it's at.
But also, find a safe person. The thing that I will tell you is, and it's only personal stories, like there are things that finally, and we laugh, as you get older, if you go to a party, there will be a section at somebody's party where they're talking about colonoscopies, talking about their mammograms or whatever, getting checked. Like in those moments, like talk to your friends. There are things that we're all having to go through, and we try to encourage.
Does this look like a goiter to you? That's when you know. Get your coat. It's time to leave that party.
But I mean, as you get older, you have to get that preventative care, because like, I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, they lost weight. They've been exercising. Everything's being great. And they called me and they were like, "Jackie, I've got gout." And we were like so mad. It was like, I don't know what happened. And it's like, there are things that happen that you have no idea that could have an explanation. The thing is, you don't want it to get worse. You don't want anything.
And walking through it with someone, to your point, I think we have to be mindful of, even when things are difficult, celebrate the fact that you do have some people to walk through these situations with. Like, I know it may sound silly, but when I have something's happening to me and I call someone that I know has been through it, the fact that I have access to talk to someone who's been through it, I'm so grateful for. I want to celebrate. Thank you so much for being somebody that I could call and ask, right? But that for some people seems not important, especially when we talk about the workplace. Listen, some of us, and please comment on this as well, some of us have made some of our very best friends at work through the years.
Right.
Some of you really have had deep relationships with people that you only got exposed to because of the coworker relationship, the fact that you both work there. So if you're sitting today having one of your very good friends that you used to work with 15 years ago and you still talk to, and you celebrate that.
That's
Even
right.
if you're like, gosh, I hated that job at XYZ company, but honestly, if I didn't take that job, I would have never met, Joe when I worked at Zoom, and now we're like BFFs and we're renting buses with stripper poles, and it's like amazing stuff, right?
You connect
That's a
the
reason to
dots
celebrate.
forward, right? You can only
Just
connect them going backwards of how you gotten on that path
yes,
to be able to do
yes,
that.
yes. Now you mentioned work human, and I do want to I think we should take a few minutes. Gosh, I love all these comments. Thank you, everyone. Um, uh, you mentioned work human as an example of a tech product that an organization can adopt to formalize some
Mhm.
of their appreciation and recognition within the organization, to celebrate individuals, to celebrate in ways that are personal, right? You can choose your adventure as a result of being recognized by your organization. So for those of you that are in an organization where maybe you do have a little bit of budget, or your enterprise level and need, right, to have a portion of your budget put towards this, you do need to look at the various tech products that are out there for recognition and support. Workhuman is one of them, right? It's not the
Right.
only one. OC Tanner, Recognition.
Right.
There's lots of platforms out there that can be supportive of those endeavors. Are you looking into them? Are you doing some demos? I would push to do that. Some of it also, by the way, can just be tech related in terms of as needed support without a formalized recognition program. So for instance, at Humoriso, I lean on Sugar Wish a couple of times a year.
I lean on Sugar Wish for some treats.
Right,
I
like
love
they're good.
They
Yeah.
were good.
Yeah.
And the thing that's great about Sugar Wish is that you could get candy, you can get wine, you can get dog treats.
Yes.
Like,
Candles. It it
yes,
it's got enough of a selection so that someone doesn't have to feel like, I'm trying to eat healthier. I don't want the nonpareils. I will eat the entire bag in 4 seconds. But oh my gosh, look, there's a succulent plant that I could get from my desk instead, or that, like, there's options. I love that, and I'm not, again, Sugar Wish has been great to me. They've been a good partner for my team, but like, there's options out there to do those kinds of things. So whether it's a formalized tech product or a tech access type product, put that in the chat. Like, if you or your organization uses anything like that, what do you use? How often do you use it? Let's give each other ideas, because I know some of us struggle after a while. It's like, I don't know what to do. We keep doing the same program. It's been 10 years. People aren't as interested in it anymore. It doesn't mean what it once did. Sometimes psychologically we get to a place where it moves from an expression of congratulations on success to an expectation.
yes.
I'm not getting my Starbucks gift card this year. What do you
Listen,
mean?
that is the thing that is like it kills me. That always I never there's and as like people in the people space, we know how that goes. But I want to go back to something that Mark said, and this triggered something for me. Like, it's hard to share personal things sometimes,
Sure.
especially medical stuff. It is. But what I want to encourage everyone to do is like look and see if they have who are the helpers, and understand, do you have a safe person? Because we are getting back to being in person. You have to develop those relationships and
Yeah.
have a place of peace. Like, I would encourage everyone today to write down their safe places to land. Like, we all need safe places to land. Who's going to be the one to hold the lemons when it just really sucks right now? Like, where
Yes.
do you go? If you don't have that person, it's time to start trying to build those relationships as a goal, because you need those people in those relationships, and you're going to need those opportunities to share, because like, literally, and John remembers, there was a time I couldn't sleep. I'm going through menopause. I can't sleep. I can't figure out what's going on. And I didn't want to tell anybody because I know what it was. I
Right.
told somebody. She's like, oh, I knew this doctor and this is what they did. Like, I was so embarrassed because it was affecting me in such a negative way.
Right.
And I was embarrassed because it means I'm getting older and everything else that, all of the other things.
All the things. Yep.
So I'm telling someone, they tell me something, and it solved it like that. Like I thought my life was over, solved it like that. And then I started helping like 6 other people referred back who had those life
Right?
changing moments. Like
Right?
we don't have to live and suffer alone. We
Yes.
don't have to suffer alone.
And that is an opportunity to use the resources that you have, even if it's just knowledge, to help ease someone else's pain. And I believe that it is an example of celebration. Were it not for access to one another and a lot of times, again, there are work relationships, as I said, that develop. Gosh, I'm so glad that we work here at the same time that I risked and brought up this issue that I'm having. And here's someone who's I'm connected to at work who was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said something. I went through the same thing 2 years ago. This doctor totally helped me. Yeah, I can't guarantee it, but here's her name and number. Give her a
Right.
call. What do you have to? You're like, okay.
That has changed the I think the big piece is there are things that are preventable. And we see that of people that have access. I mean, we already know in the US as a whole that our insurance system and our medical system is it's not great. It doesn't work. It's not seamless. It's not perfect.
Right.
And but while you have these benefits, because that nothing is promised, use them, including discount tickets and all of those things that you can enjoy,
Absolutely. Yes.
because that's why they're there, right? Like,
And
don't wait until you can't.
some of you don't even realize that they're there. And what I mean is, because I'm not speaking about any particular place, but sometimes benefits brokers who are part of a larger agency, they don't tell you that because you're now a client of theirs, they have a discount ticket site or a
Right.
perks site that you get
20%
20%
off of
off.
pet insurance.
Yeah.
Like,
Ask them, go back to your broker and say, what do I get access to anything, any portals, any discount sites, anything like that?
and
I
you as
do.
a people professional, share it
Yes.
often and where it is
Yes.
often.
Dion, don't think I didn't see this that
No,
you
I
said
love
a
this
while
too.
back.
Yes.
I saw you put this a while back and I wanted to come back to it. I just got a handwritten note when I got back from Orlando this morning. I guess the mail yesterday, a letter arrived for me. I'm not going to open it up because I don't want you to see what the person wrote, but it's a handwritten note and with a little something in it, not cash, although I'm open to that. But it just, I thought of you kind of deal. And my gosh, I love that. I have, I know the card industry is tough. Cards are expensive. I'm a big advocate of the dollar store. Go get your 2 for $1. Or I know they're up now, by the way. I think some of them are like $1.25 each.
They're about to be $5, but we'll
Yeah.
talk about that on
Well,
another.
I mean, at Hallmark, they're like $9 a card. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, but my goodness, that and a stamp can go a long way to let somebody know you took time out to go buy the card. That just as I'm thinking of you, I just want to thank you. I want to celebrate you. I want to tell you that I really appreciate you. And you mail it out. It still does mean something. Or you leave it on someone's desk if you don't want to stalk them and find their home address. Like, I understand that, but I agree.
And you don't have to use a lot of words. It could just be, I'm thinking of you.
Yep. Or I'm really grateful for you. That's that. I mean, that, my gosh, that is a big deal. 100% big deal.
Can you believe it's 10 o'clock already?
I want to make sure we encourage a few things again. First of all, we love you all. Thank you so much for spending this hour with us. We are overwhelmed at the amount of people who keep watching and participating. We love you. Please put in this chat a link to your LinkedIn profile. If you're looking for your next opportunity, what is it you're looking for? Put that and your link in here. People will watch this, obviously, not only now, but after the fact too. We get notified all through LinkedIn, especially like as you all keep commenting, like we keep getting told, oh, so-and-so just went in and watched and commented. Like, we love that. Thank you. So please keep doing that. And of course, Jamie just put up for us the LinkedIn user shirt that
we're going to be wearing these at conferences. If you go to a conference, like, wear them because we can meet other people that, it's a good way to know that people are part of our But First Coffee family. And so we'll be able to recognize each other, right? Not everybody comments that watches the show, but it's something that
Absolutely.
we want to build community.
Look at us. We'll be at Unleashed. Look at us. Jamie's so
Wow.
good.
Jamie is so good.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Clink, clink.
Clink.